COVID-19 has impacted businesses, but I must say to a large extent negatively. Businesses have collapsed, people have lost jobs, and international airspaces have closed. What does this mean to business? Businesses are struggling to survive because they don't have cash flow. Now, leasing as a product is one of the most viable ways how businesses can survive during these difficult times. How can they do that? There are businesses that have already purchased assets in terms of capital investment. What they can do, they can come to a bank like ABSA and then do what we say sell and lease back. Sell and lease back is where the businesses would sell the assets to the bank and then untie the capital, which is already tied in these capital assets, and then get working capital. Also, on the other hand, there are businesses that are doing well. There are businesses that are in businesses that actually are thriving during the COVID-19 pandemic. Examples of these businesses are businesses that are in manufacture of sanitizers, personal equipment, and other health-related equipment. So some of these businesses are actually coming to us to use our asset finance product or leasing product to expand, acquire new machinery, expand their factories, and increase their businesses. Agribusiness is one of the key sectors in the economy, one of the essential services because people have to eat. What is very important is that as ABSA, we have a fully-fledged agriculture department, but also this department is supplemented by our asset finance product or leasing product. So people are able to acquire tractors, people are able to acquire combine harvesters, people are able to acquire trucks to help them in their supply chain. So we are very key partners with the people in agriculture, and we've supported a number of customers in the whole value chain of agriculture, from production to value addition and also to distribution. So we have been able to support our key customers during these difficult times. As I mentioned, is that even during these difficult times, people have to eat. So in other words, businesses or agricultural businesses have to produce, but also this kind of products have to move from one area to another. So the whole supply chain has to be supported, and the value chain is being supported by our commercial asset finance product. The key off-takers are really established businesses. Businesses that could be sole traders, partnerships, companies, or any other established business that have verifiable and regular sources of repayment. So we, as leasing, we actually support all the economies we support all the economies, all the sectors of the economy, from manufacturing to agriculture, to transport, to logistics. We support all these kind of things. But what is very important is that the person who comes to the bank must actually be a properly established business, which is actually recognized by law. So any business in any sector that meets that criteria is actually eligible for asset finance product. The penetration of leasing as a product in Uganda is still low, and there are factors that I will actually talk about that are responsible for this. And also there are very few banks that have adopted this as a product to grow their book. Now, why is the leasing portfolio still low in Uganda? If you compare to mature markets, if you go to Europe, if you go to US, the leasing accounts for more than 80% of all financed assets. In East Africa generally, it accounts for less than 10%. And as you might be aware again, in Kenya, the government passed a policy where all medical equipment and motor vehicles are leased. In Uganda, the penetration is less than 5%. Why is the penetration less than 5%? One, lack of legislation. There is no leasing law in Uganda. Now, where there is absence of leasing law, the investor confidence is also low. An investor does not want to invest in an economy that has uncertainty. So if there is no law, what means that we cannot attract potential and serious investors. So what is happening here is that leasing is being driven by banks and independent leasing companies. So we lack serious investors. The other key hindrance to leasing is actually the tax regime in Uganda. The taxation regime does not favor leasing as a product because of the ways how we treat leases. I just have to bring to your attention that all financial services are exempt from except leasing. Now, what does it mean? It means that a customer will easily take a loan and there are no tax implications on it. But when they take a lease, there are tax complications on it. When I say tax complications, it also talks about a number of things. One, administration. Because for you to file your taxes, you need a proper trained accountant. So some businesses don't have, especially small and medium enterprises. So there are really issues about legislation and taxation that have hindered the growth of this product. However, I must tell you, for the last 4 or 3 years, we've seen this picture change because many people have come on board. We have gotten banks that have come on board doing leasing as a product. We've gotten independent leasing companies coming in the market. So we suspect that in the next 5 or 10 years, the picture is going to be better. And also, we also continue to encourage awareness and sensitization about the leasing product and the advantages leasing provides.